Welcome back to our channel, Life in Asheville. Today, we're going to talk about buying real estate in Asheville.
That's right. Whether you're seasoned at buying or selling real estate or a brand new home buyer, North Carolina is different from other states in a number of ways.
Today, we're going to share all the ins and outs of the home buying process here in the mountains of North Carolina. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Jessica.
I'm Katerina.
And I'm Asha, and our goal is to make real estate real fun. We're here with a fresh perspective on life in Asheville, North Carolina.
If you're interested in talking to one of us, click the link in the description below to book a call. Also, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button.
We'll be posting videos every week, and we don't want you to miss out. We are brokers at Town and Mountain Realty in Asheville, North Carolina, and we're excited to guide you on your journey to homeownership. But there are a few things we want you to know. An educated buyer is a happy buyer.
There are many important steps in a real estate transaction, and the best thing you can do is educate yourself and work with an experienced real estate professional.
You may have purchased property in another state, but each state is different. In today's video, we'll share the nuances of purchasing a home in Asheville.
All right, Asha, let's do a little role play.
Okay.
Why should I work with a buyer's agent? Can't I just do it all myself?
Well, Jessica, I'm glad you asked. And you can do it all yourself. No one's going to require you to use a buyer's agent when purchasing a home.
That's right, Asha. You can absolutely do the whole process on your own.
What do I have to do?
Well, here's all you need to know. It's really simple. Just become an expert on the local market, call every listing agent and get them to answer, schedule a time for the listing agent to meet you at the property. Remember, you can't see a property without an agent present, but don't tell the listing agent too much. Find a way to get access to all the legal documents, GIS, plat maps, deeds, CC&Rs, Superfund sites, all the contracts and disclosures, zoning restrictions, DOT planned improvements. Read through them all, understand them all, and make sure that you know what you're signing up for.
Next up, you need to conduct a current market price analysis so you make sure you're paying fair market value for the home, and we want to make sure that it comes in an appraised value.
What's an appraisal?
Just Google it.
I better write this down.
Okay, make an offer.
Okay.
All 17 pages need to be signed. Make sure all your disclosures and your pre-approval letter are attached with the offer. Send it to the listing agent. Make sure it's competitive. It's still a seller's market.
Then conduct all the inspections.
Inspections?
So all you have to do is get on Google, find closing attorney, a home inspector, a well and septic inspector, and any other contractors that you might need to get quotes from. But also please make sure they're trustworthy because this is a really big important purchase that you're making in your life.
Oh, and learn about radon gas. It's such a buzzkill.
What's radon?
Just Google it.
Now, advocate for yourself. Make sure that you don't say too much. Remember, the listing agent works for the seller. Remember to keep those emotions in check too, because if you get too upset or too emotional, you could say something or do something that would compromise your position in getting the home of your dreams. Negotiate any repairs. Make sure that the lender has gotten the appraisal ordered and the appraisal will come back before due diligence ends.
Wait, what's due diligence?
Just Google it.
Now, transfer all the utilities, schedule the movers, show up for the closing, and transfer the funds. And voila, you did it.
Great job.
But I also have a full-time job and a family. How long and how much time does this whole process take?
Just Google it.
All joking aside, you would hire a mechanic, an accountant, a painter, a doctor, and even an electrician to provide the right service, right? I could try and learn how to do all of these things, but I don't know how long that would take, and honestly, I would rather pay a licensed expert to do it and do it right. Do yourself a favor, hire a buyer's agent. Okay, I can see why having a buyer's agent is so important.
Ready for some more questions, y'all? Let's try this one. How is North Carolina real estate different from other states?
Well, first off, we're an attorney state, so that means that you hire a real estate attorney to assist in the transaction. They're going to do the title search and go over all of the title work and handle all the closing documentation.
They also handle all of the funds throughout the process.
If you're coming from another state, you've probably heard them called title companies. Our real estate attorneys do the title work and much, much more. Another thing to remember, a big difference in North Carolina to other states, is that North Carolina is a buyer beware state.
Also called caveat emptor if you're feeling fancy.
Meaning the seller can choose to make no representation on their property and there are no contingencies.
Another major difference from other states is that we have due diligence. It's a deposit and a time period.
Let's break down due diligence in North Carolina. As a buyer beware state, it is up to us, you and your buyer's agent, to find out everything about the property you're buying before you actually purchase it.
During the due diligence process, we will engage with other professionals who will use their expertise to educate you on the property. Think home inspection, septic and/or well inspection, pest, radon. Imagine it's like a doctor's visit for your future home, a checkup for the house, a visual inspection of all the systems, foundation, electric, plumbing, the whole shebang. It's about spotting potential problems and making sure you're educated on what you're buying.
In addition, if you're working with a lender, they'll likely require an appraisal to confirm the property's value in relation to your loan amount. This also happens during the due diligence period.
The due diligence timeline, or period, is like a trial run before a commitment. This is your chance to play detective, gather information, and make sure the house is as dreamy as it seems.
This is also when we would negotiate based on what we discovered during our inspection process in the due diligence timeline.
So, how will I purchase the property? Can I just call the local bank in my hometown and get some money?
Picking a lender is a really important decision. You should pick someone who you trust and feel confident in. The lender needs to be licensed in North Carolina, and more than that, choosing a local lender who is familiar with what makes Western North Carolina different from other parts of the country can go a long way in creating a smooth process for you.
So before you start picking out paint colors, furniture, and calculating profit margins, contact a lender. It's the first step in home ownership, and it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Let's move on to what makes buying property here physically different from other places.
Here's the deal. We have a pretty dreamy climate. Don't get me wrong, we're a climate refuge, and that's a big part of why our area is so popular, but that doesn't mean we don't have our own unique challenges when it comes to owning in the Asheville area.
That's right. Here are some things that we want to pay close attention to. Does the property have a septic or a well? If so, we need to pull the permits and make sure we have a clear idea where these systems are located, how they've been maintained, and how they're currently functioning.
Water quality is also super important. Make sure to get that well water tested. And speaking of water, we do have flood zones all the way up here in the mountains. Some homes even require flood insurance.
Water, water, water. It's nourishing, we need it, and it's a powerful beast. And Western North Carolina is not short on it. And in my opinion, it's the main nemesis to our homes. So we do what we can to figure out where it is and where it's going.
Yes, we check out the debris flow map so we can see where the main paths of debris flow are. Think about it this way. If we've got hurricane-like weather and it's dumping rain for hours and days, where does all that water want to go? Where are its paths of least resistance if that water is coming off the ridge lines and bringing with it trees, mudslides, and other debris? We'd prefer not to be in its pathway.
Exactly.
Maybe you're planning on having chickens or goats or want to build an ADU on your property.
You need to read the zoning requirements carefully. Some areas regulate what you can do on your land.
And some are totally open zoning and you can pretty much do whatever you want.
What about getting those amazing mountain views that so many people come here for?
Well, remember, to get those amazing views, you may have to drive up a steep, winding road. It may be narrow, it may be gravel, it may be dirt.
That also brings into play steep slope restrictions. You may need to work with an environmental engineer to consider landscaping, roads, or additions to your home. We also have protected ridgelines. That has more to do with developing land, but it can have an effect on existing properties as well.
North Carolina is really just trying to protect and preserve the beautiful ridgelines for generations to come. This is not what we want to look at when we're looking out over the Blue Ridge Mountains.
We hope this helps paint a picture of the nuances of our region. There is much more to dig into, of course, but if you're thinking about moving to this area and purchasing a home, we can help you navigate the terrain.
Our passion is to educate our clients and empower them to make decisions that help them reach their goals.
As always, thank you for joining us. This was just a quick roundup on purchasing real estate in Western North Carolina. If you have any questions about life in Asheville, there's a link in the description where you can book a call to chat with us. I'm Jessica.
I'm Katerina.
And I'm Asha, and we're here to make real estate real fun with a good dose of education on the side.